Alright, you guys, welcome back. And yeah, I was going to do this yesterday, but I ended up getting called in to help at the restaurant, so here I am. It's a nice day out, there's no planes, so we're going to continue talking about the guard. Now, when we were talking about the guard before, one of the things that I was kind of emphasizing is this idea of preventing them from breaking your guard by kind of keeping them busy a little bit, right? So what I mean by that is that the whole time that I maintain the guard, guys, one of the first things that I need to really get good at, and that's going to really help me maintain this guard, is to not have them breaking it, right? So when I try to break the guard, I'm taking my hamstring and pulling my heel into my ass as I bring my knees into my armpits, and that's going to help keep that break so that he's kind of occupied. Now, when you're doing this a lot, people, when they're inside the guard, you know, they're here, they're flopping around and all that, they're trying not to pose, they're going to really kind of hunker down and kind of get as stuck here as they possibly can because they don't want to get broken. Maybe they're going to start posting off of you, but they're going to really try to sit into this base a little bit further. So remember that my shoulders being forward, right, rolling my shoulders forward, that's going to prevent him from necessarily pushing me back, right, and breaking my posture off that way, and like my hips kind of being driven forward or tail tucked under like a scared dog and rounding my back like this, it's going to make it harder for him to break my posture downward. I don't want to be here, right, where my shoulders are forward but my hips are way back, because it's going to be really easy for him to break my posture down and keep it down. If I am here, right, and if I'm here, I'm just really trying to push my hips in front of my shoulders, it's going to be harder for him to break me down, but at the same time, it's going to be easier for him to sit up and take me over, and that sit-up takeover is where we're going to start today. So, a lot of times what's going to happen is I've got my partner between my legs, right, and I'm doing all this breaking. I know I'm keeping my knees together right now, but it's because my partner is a dummy. So I don't have, I can't like really keep them wide for right now. So just be careful about that. I might practice with, you know, whatever you can, but keep in mind that I'm really, maybe even without somebody in your legs at all, but really focusing on knees wide as you pull in rather than pinching in. So he's starting to like really kind of focus on keeping his posture built up. Maybe he's framing on me somehow, so I clear whatever frame that he's got on me, at least on my upper body, so I can start to sit up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually take, because I can't, when my feet are up and all that, I'm not going to be able to sit up, right? I can't get all the way up on my butt. So I'm going to open up my guard and put my feet on the ground. Now when I do this, I am still keeping my knees pinched in right now because I don't want to completely break connection, because again, if I don't have some kind of push or pull on him, or combination of push and pull, he's just going to stand up and walk away. So basically, my feet on the ground are blocking him from walking away. That's going to be kind of more my push, but my knees together are going to stop him from getting his hips up and getting up on top of me. So he's right here, he's doing whatever he's doing, but I've made it so I can sit up. I've opened up my guard, but I don't have any grips yet on this particular one. My grips are completely with my legs. Now from here, I'm going to sit up, and I'm going to get into this position. Now, as I start to extend my arm back to break his head down a little bit, I'm going to push my hips out a little bit, and I'm going to start to look up as I scoop up his neck and his head. Right? So I'm in this position, my feet should be wider, but when I'm in this position here, right, I'm pushing my hips back so that I have space to get my arm in, right? If I'm staying like really, really punched up against him, I'm not going to be able to get very far around. This is like I can't cut that corner at all. So I need to start to back my hips out, and what I do is I start to concave my abs. So I'm really pushing in and I'm rounding myself so that I have plenty of space to get through without compromising anything. Now, I kind of like this, right? Or I am grabbing palm to palm, not putting my thumbs in, right? If you put your thumbs in, they're going to break. So I'm going over the top of him. I'm going to throw my elbow over the top of his shoulder. Now, a lot of times when people are doing this guillotine, they have a tendency to really kind of extend back, and that's going to allow his head to pop out. So I actually kind of want to keep my head forward, right? So I can get that grip over my pinky if I can. If you want to, you can also get this. This might be a little bit easier. We're going palm to back of hand. So I get that. I look up because my body will follow my eyes. So if I try to get deep, right, you can see that my elbow is still way out to the side. But if I start to look up, right, my body will follow and my shoulder will drop, and that will allow me to get the depth I want. So I get through, I get that grip, right, whichever grip is more comfortable for you. And when I finish this, it's going to be a slight pull up, right, into his neck, not into his jaw, right? So I'm going to get in, and then I'm going to pull him down into my guard, and I bring my knees up towards my shoulders, right? And my feet are going to be on as high of his back as I possibly can, right? Because I want to be as close to the top of the lever so that he can't start to build his posture back up. Now I do a crunch. I implode. I bring my nose to my knee, and I'm lifting up slightly on this hand. So I'm here and going just a little bit, right? So, see, I told you planes, but normally it would be like every 5 seconds. It's really noisy out here usually, so this is nice. So I've got this. I've been fucking with him. He starts to build his posture up, maybe starting to frame, maybe he has one hand forward. I clear that one hand so I can sit up. I open my legs, but pinch my knees. I'm going to sit up, and as I sit up and I start to make contact, I'm going to push my hips out, right? I don't want to push them out too early, but now this is going to kind of replace part of what my job, the job of my hips and my legs were doing, right? But I'm still keeping that pinch as much as I can. Now, I'm going to start looking up, and as I pass this, one of the things that I kind of see sometimes is people start to like kind of really try to squeeze in as they're passing, right? If you're gripping onto somebody, you're not going to be able to glide, right? So I'm creating all this space, so I've got plenty of room. My shoulder's blocking his head. He's not going to sit up. He's not really going anywhere right now. So I'm making a little blade. I'm passing through, I'm getting as high up as I possibly can, and I'm throwing my elbow over the shoulder. If you can't get it over the shoulder, that's fine. You can finish it out here. It's just going to be a little bit stronger if you do, right? Because I've got more control of him building up his posture, less chance that he's going to escape this. Now I'm going to roll back, re-lock up, and then I'm lifting up on that blade a little bit, so my thumb is pointed towards his neck, towards the ceiling a little bit more, and my hand is going to be pulling up. I'm keeping that crunch in. I'm trying to keep this far side shoulder, this one, glued to his shoulders, right? As I start to lift up, I implode, not explode. All right? And so that is going to be your guillotine from the guard.